little bit about me to start off. I'm a senior this year. I'll be graduating finally after changing my major literally every semester since I've been here. I'll be graduating with liberal studies and a minor in psychology and a minor in business. And I'll be starting off my life of adulthood with riding my bicycle across America. There's this nonprofit called Bike and Build. They ride across America and fulfill dreams for Habitat, so it's kind of like a volunteer project and everything too. Alright, let's get started. Start off, dreams. What is a dream? You know, dream when we sleep, sometimes on park benches in New York City, you know, in our bed. So, when we have all these dreams pretty much since, you know, we were born, and when we're kindergarten, first grade, we all want to be firefighters, police officers, stuff like that, right? And then we get older and, you know, get to high school, we learn about other things we do. We be doctors, lawyers, you know, list of endless. And then we get to college, and that's when it really gets fun, right? Because unlike high school, you know, you get to take philosophy, and what happened to me, I took philosophy, and I'm like, oh, philosophy's awesome, I want to major in philosophy. Then I took psychology, and I'm like, psychology's really cool, I want to major in psychology. And then English is so different from high school, because, you know, you don't have to learn about all that boring Shakespeare crap that nobody cares about. You know, you get to actually write about whatever you want to write about. And so that's why, I mean, I've had trouble. I just changed my major every semester. Then we also have all these other dreams, you know, like backpacking Europe, running triathlon. The list is pretty much endless. And our dreams are really different from what society wants from us. Because see, society, they want us to be another sheep, right? Another sheep in the herd. You know, get out of school, get a job, start paying taxes, start helping the economy, which we're seeing right now, we're kind of failing at that. But I'm going to tell you today that what society wants from us has failed us. Because, see, what happens is, you know, once you go through school, you know, get a degree, then as soon as you graduate, everyone's always asking you, like, all right, you got a degree, now you're going to get a job, right? Start making tons of money. Well, then we get this job, and you know, it's like, it's really sweet because, you know, our paychecks are looking a little bigger than our minimum wage paychecks, which we have now, right? And it's just like, all right, it's like, I'm gonna buy myself a sweet car because, you know, making all this money, so get a sweet car, you know, and then eventually we find a pretty girl, get married. For pretty much everyone here, you guys are gonna find husbands. And then, you know, a couple years pass, there pop out a couple kids, and then you got a house, right? And then you got a mortgage. So you're paying off all this stuff, you know. Little Timmy needs new cleats for soccer. But then there's still all these dreams that we wanted, right? You know, all these dreams we had throughout our whole life. And we can start to lose focus because, you know, we tend to like do whatever our kids want, you know, what our family wants. Well, then what happens is, we start to think, we're like, all right, well, I still got time. You know, I got vacation time at work. You know, I can, you know, chase some dreams then, right? Well, then we start using our vacation time because kids want to go to Disneyland. And then little Timmy's got a soccer tournament across the state, so you gotta go to that, right? And then you think, you know what, I still got some time, right? You know, retirement, everything like that. Well, retirement rolls around, and by then you're just so damn tired from working for 35 years, you know, you just want to relax, move forward to play some golf. So, you know, and now around then we're just thinking back, like, man, I really should have done all these dreams, you know. You can't really bungee jump at 65, you'll probably break a hip. So, we never really have the opportunity to chase them then when we're that old. So I want to ask everyone here today is, you guys all have paper in your notebook, so take out a sheet of paper, and I want everyone to write down 10 dreams. So give me 10 things you want to complete in your life. I know 10's kind of a big number, but, you know, try your best.
What am I doing? I really want to. I would put them down
Alright, so you guys should all have pretty close to 10 dreams now, right? If you don't have 10, that's fine. But I want you guys to focus on one dream you want to complete this year. So look at your list and pick out the one dream you want to see done by the end of this year. Alright, so how about some volunteers? What's one dream you want to see completed?
Speak another language fluently.
Alright, what language?
Spanish.
Be a pig. Alright, sort of stuff. Alright. How about you?
Do like color me rad,
The 5K?
yeah, the color me rad.
Alright. Oh, the color run? That one I really wanted to. Alright. Anybody else?
I just like roll my face.
Alright. Alright. Any travelers out here want to do some crazy traveling? What about you in the back? One of you.
I want to go to Greece.
Greece? Sweet.
Paris.
Paris. Nice.
All of Europe.
Alright. Any like ambitious runners or anything? Want to do some marathons or anything? Marathon?
Yeah, it's on your half check soon, but it's okay.
Pittsburgh Half Marathon's coming up soon. You can start with that.
It's true.
May 5th. We got a few months. Good train. Alright, for myself, my big dream is to travel. I'm going to basically base this off of the rest of my presentation because it's what I know the best about. I mean, I travel literally any opportunity I have. My ultimate life goal is to visit every country in the world with the exception of North Korea because I'm pretty sure nobody is allowed in that country. Sealed off from the world. And the best thing about traveling with myself and for completing all your dreams is that they're new experiences. They're new, they're exciting, and going in unknown territory is really fun. When you're doing all this, you never know who you're going to meet. When you're in Paris or France, wherever, you never know who you're going to run into. Like, I was in New Orleans and I met Satan. And when I was in New York City, I met the Naked Cowboys. So, list is endless who you're going to run into. But what I have found is that people are generally good. We're communal creatures. Since the beginning of time, the cavemen lived in tribes, Native Americans lived in tribes. Even nowadays, we live in small communities. We're always willing to help someone out. When I was in New Orleans last spring break, I was there on a volunteer trip. We helped clean up some cities, or some communities that were neglected after Katrina. And when I was down there, it just so happened that I was turning 21. This was over spring break, and it just so happened that a group of my friends were down there as well, who were down there for spring break just to party. Well, they took me out for my 21st, and you can imagine turning 21 on Bourbon Street is as big of a disaster as it could possibly get. So, next thing I know, it's maybe 6 a.m., I don't know where the hell my friends are. I lost my wallet, I lost my camera, I lost the keys to my hostel I was staying in, and I lost my dignity. So, I go into this one random bar and I ask him to call me a cab, and the cabbie pulls up and I ask him how much it is to get back to my hostel. Well, I'm $2 short. But luckily there's a guy on the street who throws me a few bucks so I have money to get home. And since I don't have keys to get in my room, I just pass out on the couch in the lobby. I wake up an hour later and my group has already left to get to the work site there, took the bus. So I call one of them, I'm like, hey, where are you guys at? And they're like, well, we had to leave, we don't know where the hell we were. So I have them text me the address of where we're volunteering at, and So I'm like, all right, I'm like, I'll find it. And I just start running in the general direction of where it is. And I'm like, all right, I don't know exactly where I'm going. So I go into this one travel center and I ask him for, guidance. The guy was super nice. He ended up printing me out MapQuest directions how to get there. So I'm like, all right. I look at it. It's about 4 miles. I'm like, 4 miles. I'm a runner. I'll have to do that in like 35 minutes or so. But I didn't exactly factor in like how hungover my body was and how dehydrated it was. So I didn't make it very far before I was like exhausted. And I see this one guy getting into his car and I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir. I'm like, you know how to get to this address? And he's like, yeah. He's like, he takes a look at it. He's like, oh, kid. He's like, you're going the wrong way. He's like, it's cool. He's like, hop in. I'll give you a ride. And I'm like, all right. So I'm walking around his car to get in, and I'm like, let's see. My cell phone's dead now. At this point, I got no identification. This guy could just, murder me, throw my body in the river, and I wouldn't know. But super nice guy. He drove me around for 45 minutes until I found a location that I'd volunteer. Another time when I was in Austin, me and my friend went down to visit a friend who lives there, and we went hiking all day. Which, by the way, if you're ever in Austin, don't waste your time in the city. It's just go around to all the hiking trails around the city and like tons of natural springs, climbing if you're into that. So anyways, we're coming out of this trailhead, and after hiking probably about 5-6 hours in 100-degree heat, so we're exhausted and looking at our Google Maps on our phone, and it's about 3 miles before the nearest bus stop. Thinking, and we're like, I can't walk another 3 miles. But luckily, this guy behind us overheard us, and he's like, hey guys, are you trying to get back in the city? We're like, yeah. It's like, it's cool, I'll give you guys a ride. So, he's a little weird, but he's a nice guy. Gave us a ride in the city, and it just goes to show you that people are always there to help you out. I'm not going to say, just go hop in cars with strangers, use your best judgment. But what I have found, people are going to help you out not only like in the traveling world. Like, for example, these 2 girls over here in this picture I met when I was on a bus from Pittsburgh to Erie. They're on their way to Toronto. And great girls are like, hey, if you're ever in Toronto, hit us up. We'll show you around the city, crash on the couch. Same with this girl on this other side. I met her when I took a bus to Cincinnati. She lived in Chicago, or went to school in Chicago. So she's like, hey, if you're from Chicago, come stay with me. So, for my love of traveling, I'm going to have some places to stay around the United States. But that also helps you out in the business world. It's networking. Get to know as many people as you can, because you never know. You might be working at a company, and then one of your friends might get transferred over to like Apple or Google or something awesome, and then they might be able to get you in there, or maybe able to get you higher up at the company you're working at. So it's good to know as many people as you can, because they're going to be able to help you out. This was another thing I want to bring up. Couch surfing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with couch surfing at all, but it's pretty much the epitome of people helping people. This website is pretty amazing. It's the way it works is, see, I'm on this, and pretty much is like you create a profile. So like I have a profile for one in Clarion, this is where my apartment is, obviously. So say if you're from out of town and you're like, hey, like I want to go to Clarion this weekend, see all the beautiful attractions Clarion has to offer, the Loomis, Walmart, so, I'm tour around Clarion. So, hop on a couch surfing, type in Clarion, PA, like, oh, Daniel LaFata, alright. Send me a message, like, hey, can I crash on your couch this weekend? I'm like, yeah, sure, so I'll show you how around Clarion and everything like that. A friend of mine, her and I actually tried this last year. She had a job interview in Chicago, which we would have stayed with the girl I knew, but sure, school was on break, unfortunately. So we got on couch surfing, found this one lady who was offering her couch, drove there all day, maybe got there like around midnight, so we were pretty beat, wanted to go to bed because our interview was in the morning. Talked to the lady for maybe like 10 minutes, and she had like, she had a blow-up mattress on the floor for me, blankets on the couch for my friend to sleep. And before we went to bed, she's like, hey guys, she's like, I got work at 6 a.m., so I'm probably not going to be here when you wake up, but I'll leave a spare set of keys on the table, so, if you want to come back after an interview, watch your TV, just make yourself at home. And it's like, I remember laying there at night, falling asleep, and I was thinking, like, I have no idea what this lady's name is. I don't know where the hell I am. And she's just like giving us her home. Like, and it's just amazing how, you know, willing people are to help one another out. But what's going to happen though when we're chasing our dreams and we're trying to do what we want to do, there's always going to be things holding us back. So I want you guys to take a moment now and write down 5 things that are going to hold you back from completing your dream. Alright, so you guys got pretty close to the top reasons now, right? Out of everyone here, how many guys had money written down or something like that? Alright, how many had time? How many had something different?
Fear.
Fear?
Me.
What?
Me.
Oh, me. Oh, okay.
Responsibility.
Alright. Alright. I'll figure it out. Alright, well, to start off with money. You know, we all think we gotta have as much money as Lil Wayne to do what we want to do, you know, because it's constantly getting thrown in our face, because he's all he's really talks about. But really, we don't need that much money. I mean, we're all poor college students, right? But we really don't feel like that. We just don't know how to manage money because, I mean, we lived with our parents our whole life. You know, we never really been on our own. So we never had to balance a checkbook. So, how many of you guys in here smoke cigarettes? Any of you? No? Wow, that's good. Alright. How many of you, like, drink coffee, get your morning fix at Starbucks or Sheetz or whatever? Alright, what about McDonald's? McDonald's addicts in here? You? Alright. Alright, well, let's say, like, let's just use, for example, say you get Starbucks each morning, you know, get your morning fix on, get ready for the day. It costs, like, what, $3 for a cup of coffee. Times that by 5, you know, $15 a week you're billing at Starbucks. Let's just say you go to McDonald's, like, you know, maybe 3 times a week. $5 each time, it's about, again, $15 a week at McDonald's. We'll put that in perspective. 15 times 52, I'll do the math for you. It's $780 a year you're blowing on all that crap. And maybe one of those isn't your fix. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, buying candy bars at Gemmel, or, I don't know, buying lip gloss. I don't know if you're But not only that, but there's a flaw with saving money in our society, because we see all these things like on commercials and everything like that, like, oh, you're going to save this much money, or when you go to Walmart, at the bottom of your receipt, it's like, oh, you save $20 in groceries. You know, buy something off Amazon, it's like, oh, you save $5 off this purchase. It's, well, that's great. It's like, I saved this money, but we never really see it, right? Because it's just sitting in our bank account. And then we're blowing it, you know, when we go to the Loomis, we're just swiping that card at McDonald's, you know? And the money gets blown on other stuff. So what I want to challenge everyone here today to do is, when you go to Walmart, or you buy something from Amazon that says like, oh, you saved $20, take that $20 out of your account, or take that $5 out of your account, and throw it in a drawer. And then instead of, you know, getting your morning fix at Starbucks, A little fun fact about Starbucks is they have never ranked above 5th place in a blind taste test for coffee taste, but they sell more coffee than any other company in the world. And that just goes to show you how good marketing is. So don't blow your money at Starbucks anymore. Instead, buy a coffee maker at Walmart for $20 and buy a can of Folgers. You know, within a month, it's going to pay for itself. And then every time you were to go out and buy that cup of coffee, you know, take that $3 or $2, whatever it is, and throw it in the drawer. And then at the end of the year, like if you were to started this in the beginning of the year with spring break coming up, you'd have a pretty good chunk of change sitting in that drawer. You have enough money to, you know, go on a trip maybe, or go on a nice shopping spree. And for an example here, what you could do is, this is a trip that I did this past summer. Did 4 cities in 10 days. I went to Charlotte, Atlanta, New Orleans, and Nashville. This whole trip, hotels and bus tickets cost me $500. That was it. A friend of mine and I, we saved up some money throughout the year. As soon as summer hit, before we had to work every day, you know, we took a nice little vacation, checked out some cities. But see, we traveled smart. For example, from Atlanta to New Orleans, it's about like, I don't know, like 6 or 8 hour bus trip, I think it was. So what we did was we left Atlanta at midnight, got to New Orleans by like 7 a.m. so we didn't have to pay for a hotel that night. Yeah, it's uncomfortable as hell sleeping on a bus, but we don't have a lot of money, you know, to do what we can. However, if you are going to be in Atlanta at midnight, I recommend do not doing that, because it was the most terrifying experience of my life. I thought for sure I was going to get stabbed in that city. But really, it just goes to show you, you don't really need that much money to do what you want to do. A lot of you mentioned time was something holding you back, right? Well, time, we waste so much time each day. I mean, it's kind of insane. I worked at Sprint this past summer selling cell phones, and I worked in Meadville. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Meadville area, but there's really nothing going on in that town. We got like 5 customers a day, over a 10-hour shift. We got a lot of free time on your hands. So what I did, I mean, it's a pretty laid back place. It's like, you know, just do what you want when customers come in, deal with them, but whatever, you know, just do what you want throughout the day. So I got online and I actually designed my own travel website. So I can write about what places I travel to, concerts I go to, anything like that. It's kind of a blog. What my district manager did was play Angry Birds on his phone all day. So end of the summer came and I'm like, hey Doug, I'm like, check this out, dude. I'm like, check out my awesome website I have. I'm going to use this for my life. You know, it's really cool. And he's like, yo, Dan, he's like, check this out. I got 3 stars on every level. Like, all right, well, that's cool, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have this website deal for the rest of my life, which is gonna be awesome, and you got, you know, some dumb game on your iPhone. So if you're gonna waste your time, you know, you could use it more productively. Another thing we all waste our time on is social media. You know, how many people here have Facebook? Everybody, right? What about like Pinterest? You're all girls, so you all have it. You know, Tumblr, Instagram. If you're still on MySpace, you probably got bigger problems in your life. All right, Facebook. So we check Facebook like once a day, maybe twice, 3 times. All right, well we're wasting like maybe like, you know, I know some people just sit on Facebook all day. You know, waste maybe like 20 minutes to an hour creeping on, you know, who your boyfriend's talking to, or what other girls' pictures they're liking. Yeah, you won't do it. Don't have to, you know. And then Pinterest. Pinterest, I can't understand what your girl's obsession with Pinterest is. But every time when I do get on my Facebook, it's just clogged with like all this Pinterest crap. Like, oh my god, like dream wedding, like look at this. Like, I don't get it, but you guys spend a lot of time on Pinterest. And Twitter is like really just taken over our society as a whole. It's insane. Bill Nye the Science Guy. You guys all know Bill Nye, right? You know, we're all 90s kids. So he was speaking at a conference in University of Southern California, and he had a stroke while on stage and collapsed. People in the audience started tweeting about it and texting their friends before they reacted to calling for help or getting up to help them. And that just goes to show you how freaking invested we are with our phones that actually help someone else's life. privacy. So we really, I mean, we all just need to stop hashtagging our lives and just like, you know, get out in the real world. Because at the end of the day, I mean, when you guys are going to graduate from here, none of you are going to think, you know, I really should have spent more time on Facebook. Or I should have sent more tweets when I was in college. No, you're going to think, like, I should have spent more time with my friends. Because think about Facebook, for example. How many of you can actually remember one of your friend's statuses from maybe like yesterday, or a week ago, or last year? You know, no one really remembers status updates. And if your friend Jack just got a new tattoo, chances are when you see Jack, he's going to show you his new tattoo. So you don't really need to see his picture uploads. And then another thing, I mean, is texting. See, when someone sends a text to somebody, you're not really just sending them a message, you're sending them an obligation. Because like, you know, you send them a text and you're expecting them to text you back, and then when they don't, when you see them later that day, you're actually mad at them. You're like, why don't you text me back, you know? What's your problem? You don't like me anymore? What I did a couple years ago was I had a class with Dr. Stemler, he's the English professor here, I don't know if you guys have ever had him. But we had to do a like self-experiment for a week. So what I did for a week was I gave up all electronics. And what I found was that, well actually first of all, it was the most stress-free week of my life. Because you know, I didn't have any of these texting obligations to respond to. And then what I also began to notice was, whenever you get to class, remember back in elementary school, whenever we get to class, remember how loud it was? And like middle school, everyone was like yelling across the room, talking to everybody. And now when you get to class, it's just like, you know, everyone's got their headphones in, they're texting their friend in the other room. Well, I mean, I was kind of sucked into this whole thing too, you know. But when I didn't have any electronics, I just started talking to the person next to me. And now we're really good friends. You know, if I never would have done that, I never would have met this person. So your best friend could be sitting right next to you, and you don't even know it because you're too busy texting your other friend in a different classroom. So I challenge everyone, I mean, try that. You know, give up electronics for a week, with the exception of, you know, D2L, school email, writing papers, stuff like that. But give your cell phone to your roommate, you know, have them change your Facebook password for you. And you'll really notice like how much time you really waste each day on all the social media. This is a quote I really like. It's by Frank Zappa. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's a musician from the 70s. He said, if you end up with a boring, miserable life because you listen to your mom, your dad, your teacher, your priest, or some guy on television telling you how to do your shit, then you deserve it. It's your life. I mean, you're going to have to do what you want to do with your life. So people are always going to be telling you, you know, what you think you can do. When I was in high school coming into college, my dad told me, he's like, you should be a chemical engineer. Because, you know, chemical engineers, they make a lot of money, you're good at chemistry, you're good at math, you know, you can do it. And I'm like, chemical engineer? Sitting in an office all day? I'm like, I'd be miserable. You know, I worked in an office before for an internship. It was a place called General Partitions. They manufactured bathroom stalls. It was like, by far, the most boring as office work can get. It was miserable, and I barely made it through the summer. I'm like, there's no way in hell I can sit in a cube all day. So I found that out early. Which is what I advise you guys to start doing now. Like, so if you're in nursing, if you're in teaching, you know, start observing, job shadowing, because no sense in spending tens of thousands of dollars and getting out into a career and being like, wow, I hate this. And you gotta go back to school and do it all again. Again, people and cats, grumpy cat, is gonna tell you no. They're gonna tell you you can't do it. But don't let grumpy cat tell you no. When I was in high school, I was dating this one girl, and I was going into my senior year. She was going into her freshman year of college. She was a year above me. You know, I was a high school kid, like 17, young, dumb, and in love. And I'm like, oh, I love this girl so much. You know, I'm gonna marry her. Yeah, it's gonna be so great. So she went away to Buffalo for college, and I lived in Erie. And I wanted to go up and see her for a weekend. So I told my dad, I'm like, hey, I want to go see Courtney this weekend. And he's like, I think you just got your license, you're not driving to freaking Buffalo. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I didn't really say much after that, but, you know, a couple days passed, and I'm like, you know, I want to see my girlfriend. So I told my dad, I was on the golf team this time in high school, so I'm like, hey Dad, my friend Mark and I, we're going to play 36 holes of golf this Saturday. Playing 18 in the morning, it's home course, getting lunch, relaxing, playing 18 in the afternoon. He's like, all right, it sounds like a long day, but, you know, have fun. So I woke up at 7 a.m., took my clubs from the trunk of my car, drove off to Buffalo. So, get back, you know, later that afternoon, and see my dad. He's like, hey, he's like, where were you all day? And I'm like, oh, I went to Buffalo. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I wanted to see Courtney, so I drove up there. He's like, okay, like he didn't really, he's kind of shocked, he didn't know what to say. Then later on that night, he's like, you know, he's like, I'm mad, but at the same time I'm proud. He's like, that you're really able to do it, you know, without getting lost or anything. And then, it's like, I'm also kind of amazed that you were able to make it there, in fact, for having a 94 Dodge Spirit. So, he's like, the thing really could have just broke down on the highway. But, you know, I'm 17 and have money for a car. But that's what we're going to start finding, like, with our parents, especially now, you know, because we're transitioning, becoming adults, right? But our parents are also transitioning us becoming adults because they're used to, you know, little baby Danny, this, like, young, naive kid, but now I'm, like, trying to backpack across the world. So, you know, they're always going to, you know, want to tell you no because, you know, they don't want to see you go out in the big, scary world. But really, it has to happen, so it's just a sense of, like, breaking away from our parents and doing what we want to do because it is our lives and I mean it's time for us to live it. Another thing is, another quote I really like is fear only gets loud when you do things that matter. We're gonna get scared when we're doing, especially when we're chasing our dreams, you know, going off to France, start running races or anything. Me, for example, like when I signed up for this whole bike and build thing, you know, riding a bicycle across the country is pretty scary. I have no idea who I'm going with. We're like 25 other people I've never met. Going off the country, I've never ridden across before, obviously. So, I mean, it's pretty scary. But another thing, I mean, a lot of my friends have been talking about applying for jobs and everything like that. And like, I was talking to one friend last week, and he's saying how there's this big company he wanted to apply for. And he's like, no, he's like, I don't know, it's kind of scared. He's like, I mean, I probably won't even get it, you know, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're just applying for it. If you don't get it, then, you know, you're just back to square one. So, you know, don't just sell yourself short just because you're afraid. Like, I was scared as shit to do this presentation, but I forced myself to do it because I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I feel like I have a message, and I want to tell everybody it. So, you know, it's a matter of forcing yourself to do what you want to do. And what's going to happen is, or this is a quote I like, it's from a certain point onward, there's no longer any turning back, and that is the point that must be reached. So we just have to push ourselves to that limit. When I was in Austin, this is my friend, we were swimming through this one lake, and there's this bridge that goes over it. We climb up the bridge, and my friend's like, yeah, he's like, I always would jump off this, and, you know, I mean, like 15, 20 feet in the air, it's kind of scary looking down, because I'm afraid of heights, so I'm like, jump off the bridge, but you know, one of my dreams was always to like do cliff diving and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I guess this is kind of a start. So instead of just thinking about it, you know, just turn off my mind and jump. And then in the air, I dealt with what I just did. You know, I'm like, oh shit, I'm falling really fast. But it was really fun, and I'm like, wow, like this is awesome. So you know, you just gotta like take that leap, you know, apply for that job. You know, if you want to move out to Kansas, you know, buy that plane ticket and get out there. Just do what you want to do. Next thing is have a plan. I keep this next to my bed to keep me working out every day because, you know, biking 4,000 miles, you kind of have to be in shape for it. So, you should always have a plan. And it gets hard to do because, you know, with our classes and studying and everything like that. But you know, you need to schedule in what you want to do into your class schedule. So like for myself, part of my schedule is to go to the gym every night after all my classes. Say if you have like a break in between classes and you know you're getting up to senior level or something like that, you want to start looking for careers, well, lock into your schedule that hour a day or an hour a week, you're going to start building your resume or you're going to start researching jobs you want to get. Or if you know you want to go to Paris, you're going to start researching how to get the cheapest plane tickets or the cheapest places to stay. Let's see, this is another quote. It's, "You are fooled by your mind into believing there's tomorrow, so you may waste today." We're all college kids, right? So procrastination is our best friend. You know, tomorrow is this magical land where we're going to do that paper that we put off for the past 2 weeks. You know, we're gonna do that really intense workout that we found on Pinterest. We're gonna get everything done that we really want to get done. But you know what? Tomorrow doesn't come. Tomorrow doesn't, I mean, you gotta look at tomorrow as if non-existent. So whatever it is you wanna do, you gotta do it now, you gotta do it today. So what I want everyone here to do right now is to write down, what are you gonna do today? So get to your dream. What will you do later today to get to it? All right, so now that you got that written down, who wants to share with us what you do later today? Anybody? Homework? All right. Anybody else? Nope.
I'm baking later. Baking.
Baking?
Yeah.
All right. What was your dream? Yeah, write down something you're going to do to get closer to your dream. Did I not say that? Yeah, my bad. All right. Well, that's all right. I'm going to give you another moment to do that. But while you're doing that, I want you to team up with somebody, and this person's going to be your dream buddy. So it doesn't matter if you know them or not. Exchange contact information, you know, phone number, email, Facebook, whatever. And when you see this person on campus, ask them. Ask them, be like, hey, what are you doing today to get closer to your dream? Or text them every once in a while, be like, hey, what have you done to get closer to your dream? You know, keep them on track, keep each other motivated. So you guys do that now. Find your dream buddy and find out what you're going to do today.
Lindsay, you want to be my dream buddy?
Yeah, I'll be your dream buddy.
Okay. What's your dream?
Her dad, Jesus.
That's a great dream to have. Maybe I'll make that my dream too.
What's your dream?
Finish my dissertation.
Yeah, I'll be your dream buddy.
Okay.
Wait, is that recording?
Yeah. Good, so he'll know all about it. Yeah, he's the one that has me recording it, so. That's good. I didn't put the spotlight on you. He doesn't know who it is.
Yeah, so. We have to, you and me and him have to get together.
I know, we should.
Yeah. Try to stay away.
How's everything going with you?
It's going really well.
Good.
Yeah, how's everything going with you?
Well, yeah. I'm ready for break. How about you?
Yeah. You're gonna be in your office on Monday?
I will be.
Alright, is that okay if I come stop by?
Stop by.
Do you have a dream buddy? Okay. Okay, cool.
All right.
All right. Definitely. Yeah, that's actually my that's awesome. Who else? Somebody over here. What are you guys gonna do later today? You and the white. That's you. What are you gonna do later today to get closer to your dream? I just told you how to save money. Save $50. All right. Anybody else?
To be able to speak fluently and doing my Spanish work.
All right, awesome. Let's start. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with this one last quote. One of my favorite ones. It's the most dangerous risk of all: the risk of spending your life not doing what you want, and the bet you can buy yourself the freedom to do it later. This is one of the quotes that I try to live my whole life by, because see, like, I want to travel as much as I can, like I've been saying the whole time, and you know, you need money to do that, obviously. Like, my dad keeps telling me that I should just go out and make a bunch of money, and then I could just travel for the rest of my life. Well, then you're just gonna, like I told you in the beginning, you're gonna get so caught up in life that you're never gonna have time to complete your dreams. So these next few years of your life, you know, through the end of college and after graduating college, those are going to be times where you're going to want to do everything you can do. Because you know what, when you have a family, you're not going to have time to do the Appalachian Trail, because that's like a 3-month adventure. So, and what's nice is, you know, when you graduate, a lot of us probably have school loans, but they give you that 6-month grace period before you have to start paying off your loans. That's the time where you should do what you want to do. You should do the Appalachian Trail then, you know, you should go to Paris then. Do what you want to do, because those loans are going to be with you for the rest of your life. You'll have forever to pay them off, so don't worry about it. But that's what I want to leave you guys with. So, yeah, everyone should just chase their dreams. Any questions from everybody?
Oh.